Hello, good evening. Welcome to Axiom Flux News. Today's date's the 25th of January 2015. You're listening to Tom Crawford and Tom Crawford. Hello, Tom. Can you hear me?
Aye, all right.
Aye.
I
Okay.
don't speak like that. I can't do a Nottingham accent.
I didn't even try. So we're gonna kick off today, guys, with this interesting article that we've got on Tom Crawford, the cancer patient. Thanks to his hundreds of supporters who warded off bailiffs the other day.
Oh, PJ, before you carry on, yeah,
Yes,
je suis Tom Crawford.
that's the one.
Yeah.
Just sweet Tom Crawford.
Sorry.
That's the one. No worries. So, a cancer patient has thanked the hundreds of people who helped prevent bailiffs from evicting him. Tom Crawford, who is battling prostate cancer, said that a team of supporters are now on standby to deal with any future visits. Yesterday, more than 500 people arrived in Fernchase, Carlton, to help the 63-year-old, who has a long-running dispute with Building Society Bradford and Bingley over his mortgage. Mr. Crawford said he has been told by the bank and the courts that he owes more than £43,000, although he claims he does not owe them a penny. He claims he paid off the last of his mortgage in 2013 and maintains the bank changed his mortgage arrangements without him knowing. He added, "It was an amazing day. We got so much support from so many people. They have totally supported me and my family, and should the bailiffs come back, they're going to stop there every night. There will be a team on standby. We're covered. This sort of thing is happening all the time." When bailiffs arrived on Friday, the army of supporters guided their vehicles away from Mr. Crawford's house, which he has been living in for the last 25 years. 13 members of anti-austerity group, the Nottingham People's Assembly, attended the protest. Spokesman Stuart Halforte said, "It was like a festival atmosphere without the music. There was a real sense of solidarity, people standing together to support someone, and an injury to one is an injury to all. By the time I arrived, the bailiffs had already been chased off. It just shows you that what can be done if your people are organised." On Friday, UK Asset Resolution, which acts on behalf of Bradford and Bingley, said the bank is legally entitled to take possession of the house. It confirmed the eviction did not take place as planned on Friday due to safety concerns. A spokesman said, "We will now discuss this matter with our legal advisors and the court to determine the most appropriate next step." So there you go. That's the man himself. With the support from Get Out of Debt Free. Guy Taylor was also there, and many others. Excellent stuff. What do you think, Andy? So far, so good?
Well, it's quite heartening to see people come together to fight the corruption, and but Tom's just one of many that get visited by these criminals, because they're not actually providing any evidence whatsoever. There's no paperwork or nothing to do with this. They're just going in like thugs and saying that he owes them money and not showing them any evidence whatsoever. And he's just one of many that are going through this. And it's heartening to watch the video earlier on of all the people coming together to support them, because each one of those, if they've got mortgages, they could be facing the same thing the next day. So yeah, it's good. It's a start of hopefully a bit of a fight back from the people to say no, we're not taking this anymore because it's not lawful. What you're doing is totally unlawful, and yeah, it's good to see. And I should watch how it goes very closely, and hopefully other people in other areas going through the same thing will get similar support in the coming months ahead.
Well, it's going to be needed, I think. I will attach some links if anybody wants to watch some of the, the recordings of the event that took place. I'll attach it below the video. So, okay, moving on to my next article. US planes targeted by explosive threats. Not very good at spelling, but never mind. The dual planes are now sitting on a tarmac during Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. Police have searched dual airliners during Atlanta's airfield after credible explosive threats. US officials say airport operator Reese McCraney pronounced threats were perceived opposite Delta and Southwest flights entrance from Portland and Milwaukee, respectively. He pronounced both planes had landed safely and been evacuated. 2 US Warrior jets escorted a plane into Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, the airfield, after pronounced no bombs were found. In a tweet, airfield officials wrote, all transparent for both aircraft. Normal airfield operations have resumed. Thank we for your patience. Safety, confidence are our top priorities. Not very good at spelling at all, but yeah, top priorities. The explosive threats were done online. The passengers from a dual flights were evacuated, as seen in the image above. On Monday, New York's JFK was during a center of another threat involving during slightest one aircraft. No explosive was found. Okay, so keep an eye out on any more information on this coming in, and if any more have been brought back or examined, we'll let you know if we can. Next article. This one is M4 horror crash, which happened at lunchtime today in the UK. 29 is rushed to hospital, including 5 OAPs after 10 vehicle pileup. Up to 29 people were rushed to hospital after 10 vehicles, including a coach carrying pensioners, crashed on a busy stretch off the M4 motorway today. The one woman was airlifted to hospital and another 28 people taken to 3 hospitals by ambulance. At least 5 elderly passengers had to be cut from the bus by emergency services. In a statement, South Wales Police said at approximately 11:55 hours this morning, a road traffic collision occurred on the eastbound M4 between junctions 34 and 33 to the west of Cardiff. A white bus and 4 vehicles were involved in this collision. The bus is understood to have contained persons from the Bridgend area travelling to Cardiff to see a show. A further collision occurred in the westbound carriageway at the same location a few minutes later, where a vehicle towing another vehicle overturned. There were no injuries in this collision. Delays were encountered in both directions as the collisions were dealt with. Anyone who witnessed a collision involving the bus and who have not already given their details to police is asked to contact South Wales Police. Some more images here. The crash happened just before midday cars stretching back to junction 35 on the eastbound carriageway. Westbound had initially reopened but was closed again to allow the air ambulance to land. This one from the, unfortunately, the BBC, but there's a reason why I picked this. I don't often pick them, do I, Andy? It's very rare. Hoax call to David Cameron prompts security review. Downing Street says it's to review security procedures after a hoax call was put through to David Cameron. Number 10 said the caller claimed to be Roger Hannigan, Director of Government Monitoring Agency GCHQ. The Prime Minister received the call on an official mobile, but ended it when it became clear it was a hoax and no sensitive information was disclosed. GCHQ is also carrying out a review after Mr. Hannigan's mobile phone number was revealed in a separate call. The contact number given out for the GCHQ head is thought to have been for an unclassified phone, rather than one of the secure lines used for sensitive communications. And although the call to Mr. Cameron was made to an official mobile, the conversation was understood to have been quite brief. The government spokeswoman said a notice has gone out to all departments to be on the alert for hoax calls following the incident. She said the Prime Minister ended the call when it became clear it was a hoax. In neither instance was sensitive information disclosed. Both GCHQ and Number 10 take security seriously, and both are currently reviewing procedures following these hoax calls to ensure that the government learns any lessons from this incident. There you go.
Hoax call.
An hoax call.
Well, a hoax call meaning it wasn't GCHQ then, yeah? Perhaps it was Quick Quid trying to call in his payday loan.
Possible, it could be.
Yeah. Moving on, he says.
Moving on. Cruise ship listed as vessel hit by fire. And it's not the one that I've previously reported on, Andy. It's another one. The blaze broke out in the engine room of the Boudica, which has more than 700 passengers and 350 crew on board. 350 crew. A fire took place in the engine room, which has now been put out around 4 AM as it was sailing off coast of Casablanca, Morocco. The vessel was listing for a short period before the loss of the propulsion system, according to operator Fred Olsen Cruise Lines. With 784 guests and 356 crew members on board, it is now fully stable and there is no danger to guests or crew. The company added, it also said no guests or crew were injured in the blaze. 3 auxiliary engines were running along with 2 main engines, and the firm was reviewing the itinerary to get the ship back on schedule. The ship will liaise with the relevant maritime authorities should any need emerge. The ship sailed from Cadiz, Spain on Saturday and is scheduled to arrive in Arrecife, Lanzarote on Monday morning. It's fairly big, that one, isn't it, Andy?
That's another boat with a fire. Another.
Hey, look, we've got some here. What you said.
Lifeboat. Lifeboat.
You commented on that, didn't you? Look at that. It only appears to be one in this image.
Appears to be one. How many? 800 people in that. You're going to get 800 people in that one little life.
Is that one as well? Is that a smaller bit? Is that for kids?
No, that's the tin bath for the VIP guests to have a washing. I don't know. I can't see it. It's very small.
You see, yeah,
Is it a
tiny bit
little?
of.
Is it a little one-man submarine or something?
Oh, I'm not sure. It's a bit hard to.
Boudica.
It's a bit hard to speculate.
Boudica, the Queen
Yeah.
of Britain. Yeah.
Boudica.
Yes, she was, wasn't she?
Look at that. Look at all this. Wow.
Yeah, it's got plenty of radar equipment on it, isn't it? I think it's radar.
Yep.
Oh, another one's got a fire. What's with all these fires on these ferries and boats and stuff?
Always in engine rooms.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, obviously,
they don't run them like they used to run Titanic, and very rare for them to get a.
well, the other thing is they obviously haven't got enough staff to enough crew to passenger ratio, because I mean they've only got 350 and they couldn't possibly prevent a fire breaking out or anything like that. Obviously understaffed, yeah.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know though. They've got. It's one for every two passengers, isn't it? So.
Yeah, that's not enough really. You want about 5 for every one passenger really. That's a bit like the economy, you know. And jobs in the economy, you want 5 people spying on one person and looking after another person, and that person looking after that person, watching that person, watching that person. You notice that I used person quite a bit in that, PJ.
I did. Well, that leads me to my final article, which is the most interesting one for me really. That's why I left it till last. Scientists slow down the speed of light travelling in free space. So let's go into this article. Scientists have long known that the speed of light can be slowed slightly as it travels through materials such as water or glass. However, it has generally been thought impossible for particles of light, known as photons, to be slowed as they travel through free space, unimpeded by interactions with any materials. In a newspaper published in Science Express today, researchers from the University of Glasgow and Heriot-Watt University describe how they have managed to slow photons in free space for the first time. They have demonstrated that applying a mask to an optical beam to give photons a spatial structure can reduce their speed. The team compared a beam of light containing many photons to a team of cyclists who share the work by taking it in turns to cycle at the front. Although the group travels along the road as a unit, the speed of individual cyclists can vary as they swap positions. The group formation can make it difficult to define a single velocity for all cyclists. And the same applies to light. A single pulse of light contains many photons, and scientists know that light pulses are characterized by a number of different velocities. The team's experiment was configured like a time trial race, with 2 photons released simultaneously across identical distances towards a defined finish line. The researchers found that 1 photon reached the finish line as predicted, but the structured photon, which had been reshaped by the mask, arrived later, meaning it was travelling more slowly in free space. Over a distance of 1 meter, the team measured a slowing of up to 20 wavelengths, many times greater than the measurement precision. A bit more on this. The work demonstrates that after passing the light beam through a mask, photons move more slowly through space. Crucially, this is very different to the slowing effect of passing light through a medium such as glass or water, where the light is only slowed during the time it is passing through the material. It returns to the speed of light after it comes out the other side, or back into free space. The effect of passing a light through the mask is to limit the top speed at which the photons can travel. The work was carried out by the team from the University of Glasgow Optics Group, led by Professor Miles Paget. working with theoretical physicists led by Stephen Barnett and in partnership with Daniel Facio from Heriot-Watt University. Daniel Giovanni, one of the lead authors of the paper, said the delay we've introduced to the structured beam is small, measured at several micrometers over a propagation distance of 1 meter, but it is significant. We've measured similar effects in two different types of beams, known as Bessel beams and Gaussian beams. Am I saying that right, Andy? Corlead.
Yeah,
Go on, say again.
yeah, I'll take your word for that.
Co-lead author Jacqueline Romero said, "We've achieved this slowing effect with some subtle but widely known optical principles. This finding shows unambiguously that the propagation of light can be slowed below the commonly accepted figure of 299.792458 millimeters per second, even when traveling in air or vacuum. Although we measure the effect for a single photon, it applies to bright light beams too. The effect is biggest when the lenses used to create the beam are large, and when the distance over which the light is focused is small, meaning the effect only applies at short range." The results gave us a new way to think about the properties of light, and we're keen to continue exploring the potential of this discovery in future applications. We expect that the effect will be applicable to any wave theory, so a similar slowing could well be created in sound waves. For example, the team's paper titled "Spatially Structured Photons That Travel in Free Space Slower Than the Speed of Light" is published in Science Express, which provides electronic publication of selected papers in advance of print in the journal Science. 186, is it 186 speed of light, Andy? Don't know if you've still got your ears, Andy.
Yeah, well, it's the same speed as a radio wave. I know that. It's 380 something thousand miles per second, somewhere around there.
I did have it in my history from a BBC, but because I didn't really want to show another BBC, I went digging for another source. 186,282 miles per second in free space.
In free space, yeah.
In free space, yeah.
In a vacuum, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, well, I was miles out when I must have been thinking of something else, I don't know. Anyway, it's still quite quick.
Yeah, but it can only be slowed in short distances.
Yeah, but what did you get from the article? What did you find any significance about that, or?
I did, but it's my own little theories.
Well, obviously, first of all, then how can they say 186 point whatever it is thousand miles per second is the speed of light? Because obviously they've just apparently proved in a laboratory or wherever it was in a vacuum that it can be slower, or it can be slowed down in free space or a vacuum, whatever you want to call it. So obviously Einstein's speed of light and the speed of light is incorrect, and these are perfectly correct because, you know, they've proved it. So what is the speed of light then? It just makes you think, hang on, well, what is the speed of light?
These guys here, look. Speed of light.
And the other thing is, the article is, well, if that's progress, if you take it as said, you know, what their experiment was is all true, because, you know, people sort of only believe what they read, don't they, or what they're told. But let's just take, you know, let's take it as legit and it's all true, whatever. I mean, it's hardly progress, is it? I mean, you know, finding a way of slowing down the speed of light when the whole idea of, you know, getting space venture and further afield out of the solar system and eventually to explore the rest of the galaxy, let alone the universe, you would be looking to, you know, get things to go faster than the speed of light. So I don't call that really, it defeats the object really, because if you want to go further ahead and advance technology and exploration of space, you'll want to find out if you can send something, not necessarily someone, because I don't think the human body can take much more, but you would think they would be looking into ways of increasing speed of light or going faster than the speed of light, if you see what I mean.
Definitely, yeah.
So
But
I kind of find the article a bit.
At least they're looking into light.
Well, they can look into the dark, but they ain't going to see a great lot at the moment with their technology, apart from infrared, of course. It's visually, you know.
Well, my article's wrapped up in under half an hour, Andy, so it's over to you.
Okay, I'm going to have to get a screen share. Oh, come on. What are you doing? Oh, bear with me, PJ. This is really being silly tonight. Screen share.
No worries.
It's just not happening, is it, tonight? Can we have a screen share?
Well, that's a live broadcast for you, Andy.
I've never had this problem before. Oh, it's not going to have it. Not going to have it, PJ.
Did your computer say no?
Well, I'm pressing the screen share and nothing's happening. Screen share, the green one, and it says nothing's happening. Let me go on something. You can't see nothing, can you?
No, not yet.
Axiom Code Community presented you to everyone. Jolly good. Well, where's the screen share then? Oh, I've got this silly little thing that Bok had come up.
Aha.
Profile, mute. Profile. Well, we've gone off somewhere else now, PJ.
Not to worry, Andy.
Well, I'll just do it audio.
Yes, do it. Audio's pretty good. Better than nothing.
This has gone on somewhere else now. You are presenting to everyone. Is that right?
Yeah, you're presenting, but nothing's coming up.
Yeah, but it's...
If you want to send me a link to your article, I'll show your article for you if you want.
Stop presenting. What does that mean?
So you are sharing your screen then, yeah?
Well, you can't see nothing.
No.
Alright. That's not you. Right. Oh well. To hell with it. Right, this article, you won't see it, but it's about the Greek election. PM concedes defeat to Syriza, or Syriza. The Greek Prime Minister has conceded defeat to the leader of the anti-austerity Syriza party in the country's general election. Incumbent Antonius Samaras, who leads the Conservative New Democracy Party, has called Alexis Tsipras to congratulate him on winning the election. Partial results suggest Syriza has secured 36.5% of the vote when compared to 27.7% for the New Democracy Party. Oh, it's getting up there, nearly 10%, so that's cool. That gives them quite a sway. Anyway, this indicates the opposition party would get between 149 to 151 seats in the 300-seat parliament, putting the possibility of an overall majority on a knife edge. Hundreds of flag-waving supporters have turned out in Central Athens to celebrate, but the victory for Syriza raised the prospect of a standoff with European creditors. Mr. Tsipras has promised to renegotiate the payment terms of Greece's 318 billion debt and tackle soaring unemployment and mass wage cuts that followed the country's international bailout. He said Greece will return to democracy, Greece will regain social cohesion and dignity, and the message is that our common future in Europe is not the future of austerity, it's the future of democracy, solidarity and cooperation. But Syriza's refusal to continue meeting the austerity demands placed on Greece by its creditors has sparked fears the country may be unable to repay its debts, which could force the country's exit from the Eurozone. Germany's Bundesbank has warned Greece needs to reform to tackle its economic problems, while the euro fell nearly half the US cent. Mr. Samaras has insisted voters would be making a huge mistake to elect Syriza at a time when painful fiscal reforms may be about to pay off. Rubbish. After conceding defeat, after conceding defeat, he told supporters, "My conscience is clear because I told the truth to the Greek people until the very end." Oh yeah. The Greek government was forced to undertake deep budget cuts and fiscal reforms as a condition for a €240 billion bailout in 2010 from the so-called Troika, the group of creditors made up of the European Union and the International Monetary Fund and the European Central Bank, aka Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan and all the rest. I put that in, by the way. Many in Greece feel slashed. Public spending has hit the most vulnerable hardest, while leaving the tax evasion and corruption of the apparent elites untouched. Mr. Tsipras has committed to working with the ECB to negotiate the terms of the bailout, the deadline for such a move being July, the month when Greece will no longer be able to pay its debts without a further injection of funds. But the ECB and IMF have said the regime of demands around growth targets and deficit reduction must remain in place, meaning the standoff with Syriza may become inevitable should it win the election, which it did. However, Syriza's position would be determined by the final outcome. Oh, yeah, I've said that. If the party can achieve a simple majority of more than 150 of the 300 parliament seats, this would enable it to take a tough stance on its negotiations. But if it's forced to form a coalition government, this could limit its options. Well, I can't help but feel that this is all a put-up job, but I hope I'm wrong, and I hope this geezer stands for the people, the many thousands that are really going without food, and reports of single mothers, single parents, kids going to school and fainting and passing out where they're not getting enough food. That's a true story I read direct from a guy who lives in Greece. So he said it's dreadful. You don't see what's really going on in Greece. So I hope this man is for the people that are suffering, and he's not just some stool pigeon stooge, or not stool pigeon but stooge for the bankers. So anyway, moving on very quickly, I'll just do this one more because I really needed the I really needed the screen share, but
I'm sharing your article as you're talking, and so if you've got a link, I'll quite happy to do that for you.
oh, it's all right, PJ. We'll get through it tonight. You understood what I said.
Yeah.
Russian Air Force on high alert. First shots of World War III fired. Every major war has an initial catalyst event when the history books look back on saying was the beginning of the war. Russian Air Force on high alert. Have the first shots been fired? An unconfirmed report from a German website says in the Baltic states there have been recent multiple provocative maneuvers of the Russian Air Force. Russian fighter jets flew to Spiegel information most frequently called feints. They raced at high speed on the NATO limit too, turned into the last minute or injured even for a short time. The NATO airspace researcher David Voss says injured. I don't know. Every war, including world wars, have the first shot. That event, that when history looks back, says the war began. That happened this week. We are now in World War III. The battle has begun, going on for some time, but it could not be said it was more than a. It could not be said it was more than a Cold War. Now the actual gun battle was begun because we are early into this war. It may not be clear yet to everyone involved has actually started. I'm not
I'm
sure.
trying to find that article as you're talking, Andy, but I can't. So fortunately, can't show that one.
There's videos on there, and it shows videos examine the first shots of World War III. It's on yournewswire.com, but
That's probably why.
yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Just one little brief thing. Jamie Oliver, TV food activist Jamie Oliver, teaming up with Bill Gates Foundation. Jamie Oliver is a well-known English chef and media personality who is known for his TV cookery shows and cookbooks along with his global campaign for better food education. But now Oliver, the healthy food advocate, has decided to team up with one of Monsanto's biggest allies, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The video shows Oliver pledging his support for what GMO pushing Gates has called a better food system, which is supposed to get rid of world hunger and global poverty. HealthWorks report Bill Gates, the mega mogul, one of the world's richest people, and his wife Melinda have contributed billions of dollars through their namesake Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to fight poverty and disease in Africa, and much of it has gone to increasing agricultural productivity. GMO seeds on the continent, mostly through the introduction of genetically modified crops. Protests against GMOs, which are linked to major health and environmental problems, and oftentimes end up consolidating control of seeds and farming to massive corporations like Monsanto rather than farmers, have been fierce in Africa, but the Gates Foundation continues to tout them. Meanwhile, in the United States, Oliver has carved out a reputation for being a champion of the clean and healthy food movement through his popular show, Jamie Oliver's Food Revolution, on ABC and others, MSN. His focus on locally grown fresh products runs completely opposed to Gates' vision of a corporatized, genetically engineered and artificial food supply consolidating in the hands of multinationals like Monsanto. You can tell Jamie what you think about his decision on his Facebook page by clicking here. Oh. Here you go, good old Jamie Oliver, eh? Mr. GMO Jamie Oliver. GMO Oliver, I'm going to call him from now on. Forget Jamie, GMO Oliver.
That's it. Feel free to send him a message, guys.
Yeah.
Sure, he'd appreciate some feedback.
I did watch the video, but I won't play it because I can't see it. And anyway, it was.
I've got a video here. It's a bit long. I don't know if you can see it's screen share that I'm sharing at minute, Andy.
Hang on.
I'll try to find a few of them ones you've been talking about. And this is the one that I found on your newswire, which is Russian Air Force on alert. First shots of World War III fired. apparently the Yemen presidential palace has been under attack, is it not?
Yep. Has it got
No.
the shout? See if you can play the one with the aircraft doing their dodgy manoeuvres or whatever. I don't know if it's actually of it. Cause,
No, it's a still image, that one, I think.
well, that one.
Yeah, it's just talking.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Alright, don't worry about it, because we've pretty much covered it. But yeah.
I know this one's good.
Well, we understand from the information Minister Nadia Sakayaf that the presidential palace has fallen to what she described as the Houthis. That's the rebel movement here, a collection of tribesmen and militia who've swept across the capital in the past few months and are increasingly, it seems today, intent on exercising power here in the capital. She called what is happening now the continuation of a coup, said that the president has no control at all. She also went on to say that he is inside his residence at this stage, but there is shooting from the rooftops down to the street outside that residence.
There you go. Goes on for 16 minutes, so I'll not play too much.
Nah. Well, it comes back to the disintegration of the European Union, Eurozone first, followed by the disintegration of the European Union. We know what's going on with boots on the ground now. Well, supposedly trainee boots by the American military in Syria, who are helping the Free Syrian Army, or whatever they're called, fight the Free Syrian Army. Hang on, did I just say the Free Syrian Army to fight the Free Syrian Army being out by the Americans? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, PJ, but didn't ISIS or ISIL, or whatever they're called, actually come from the Free Syrian Army?
Who knows, Andy? Who knows? There's a comment if you're listening. Anybody who's got me.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
It's like guess who?
I'm just putting the question out there because I heard that ISIS came from, and I think it was a mainstream report that they were leaving that area and going to Iraq to fight for the Islamic, whatever it is. I can't remember what it stands for, but there we go. But America apparently have got people training on the ground, training these guys. So I don't know. It's a complete mess, if anything.
Well, the ISIS that I know is the Two Sisters, and the Two Sisters is Switzerland, the sisterland. The Two Sisters. That's what it means. Switzerland is the sisterland. Two sisters. The Two Sisters of ISIS.
Oh.
But that's another theory.
Yeah, well, an interesting one. We'll have to have a little look into that, PJ. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's about it tonight. I'm sorry I couldn't get the screen share up, but there you go. Technical hang-ups as per usual.
Yeah, I tried to do my best to support your articles here, Andy.
Well, yeah, I mean, let me just see, Sod's Law. Yeah, I can share it now.
I bet you can.
Somebody's
Cheers, Eric Schmidt, for that. Bit too late, but, you know.
Well, I think perhaps they didn't want me to show Jamie Oliver's face. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. But okay, that's about it from me, PJ.
Yeah, same here. No worries.
Let's. I'm just gonna go off and quickly hunt the videos of all the people in the street of Athens, and cheering away, and wish them all the best of luck.
You're gonna need it. You know, this is. We've all waited a long time, but you know, as democracy started over in Greece, they've waited, you know, a significant piece more.
Well, it is meant to be the cradle of democracy or the mother of democracy.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll get it right this
So
time.
all the best, Greece.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's it for today. Do join us tomorrow if you're interested in liking the work that we're doing over here on Axiom Curb. We'll be back with more Flux news, and don't forget, you can be involved yourself. Just send us a quick email or even comment below on YouTube, and we'll get back to you. But until then, take it easy, and we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Thanks for tuning in.